Some things haven't stood the test of time. It's only been 6 weeks, so don't jump to conclusions. This could just be a fast food love. Jenna's friends thought she was rushing things. They all assumed the lovebirds wouldn't last long, but surprise, they're already hitched. At this time, John and Jenny were unaware of each other's secrets. Their marriage, like most, started sweetly. Today, they went to the amusement park. A nearby game caught Jenna's eye, so she dragged John over to join. If she wanted to keep her identity under wraps, she'd have to play the rookie. She missed on purpose to lull John, but he couldn't wait and joined to chat. She took aim, hit the target multiple times, and suddenly the mood shifted. Jenny felt her competitive spirits ready to show her true colors. She had John foot the bill, then she wrapped up the game in 5 seconds flat, smirking at John triumphantly. But John quickly threw her a curveball, asking where she learned her design skills. Jenny tried to brush it off with some luck talk, but that didn't satisfy John. 6 years passed swiftly, only chicken feathers remained after happiness. Their marriage failed the 7-year itch, becoming mundane. Once lovebirds, now there's an invisible wall between them in bed, and sweet talk turned into spicy critiques. They take turns critiquing home decor and roasting each other's looks. But John seriously can't stand Jenna's cooking. John isn't a fan of the same unappetizing dish every day. One time he asked Jenny to pass the salt, but she said it was right there in the middle of the table. Finally, he got up reluctantly for the salt, putting extra effort into cutting the beef. He was venting his frustration at the beef, but Jenny was all ears see not. While washing dishes, he took his anger out on the plates. After catching Jenna's gaze, he sheepishly blamed it on a moment of distraction. By day, John is a construction engineer and Jen is a lawyer. They were so busy with their own jobs that they barely inquired about each other. John had built a secret weapon stash in the basement, loaded with thousands of bucks. He regularly checked on his guns and ammo to ensure everything was ship-shape. John preferred to tackle assignments solo, sneaking into targets' rooms. Had approached them under the pretense of playing cards, but the trio was sharp and wary of outsiders. But once John waved around stacks of cash, suddenly they quickly decided to let him join the card game. John intentionally lost everything he had to fuel the gambler's greed. When the time was right, he pulled out his gun and took them all out. Meanwhile, Jenny was turning the kitchen into a dream space, going all out on her daily missions. She dressed up as a performer for the mark, bound herself with rope, then snuck up behind her target to strike. Just as her henchmen were onto her, she was already prepped and made a quick leap down to the first floor. She hopped into a waiting taxi just in time. Before heading out, they agreed to hit up their neighbor's party at 7. This killer couple is all about being punctual. They arrived at the neighbor's right on time, but couldn't care less about the boring party. Subtitles. Suddenly, a mother felt the urgent need to use the restroom, so she passed her child to Jenny. John witnessed this scene and was filled with a myriad of emotions. The next day, John got a job from the organization. A guy codenamed Tank was heavily guarded by helicopters. The mission? Eliminate him before he touches down safely. Meanwhile, Jenny got the same bounty while on a trip. She arrived early to set things up, with explosives laid out and ready. Oops. An uninvited guest arrived, knocked over the detonator, and ruined Jenna's plan. She didn't expect it. The guest was her husband, John, and he clearly had intentions to intercept her prey. Jenny used her monitor and found out John was just a civilian, sighing in relief until he pulled out her deadly rocket launcher. Quick on her feet, Jenny shot him with her sniper rifle, just as the convoy with Tank hit the minefield. John in his bulletproof vest was fine, but zeroed in on the source of the pain. Meanwhile, Jenny was on her game too. Then, John took aim with the rocket launcher and fired, but it backfired on him. Jenny's landmine sent him crashing down, and the Tank just barely escaped. Jenny, having bolted from the minefield, didn't let John get a good look and went home, only for her boss to call out of the blue. Because of her boss mission, her boss ripped her a new one and warned that if anyone found out her identity, she had to catch them within 48 hours. Meanwhile, John was in a similar pickle. He used clues from the computer left at the scene to round up his tech-savvy friend for some intel on who bought the computer. When he arrived at the location and saw the name on the staff list, his world collapsed. The trade company CEO was his wife's name. Jenny was also reviewing footage and, after some serious digging, realized that the trade devil was her husband. Subtitles. John gave her a call, inviting her to dinner at 7 p.m. which seemed less like a romantic candlelight dinner and more like a red door feast for hunting identities. Upon entering, Jenny raised the bottle, scrutinizing him, struggling to believe her gentle husband attacked her that morning. But spotting the gas on the table made her suspicious, and she thought maybe he spiked the beef. Without mercy, she poured the gas into a flower pot. While she dashed to the kitchen for the beef, he found a knife for safety. Before the meal, he casually asked about her job to poke around. "I have some issues with the company partnership," she replied. "Is that good?" he asked back. They both knew exactly who they were, and the atmosphere turned tense. Dan wanted her to show him her vows, but he found they were more than just vows. He hastily let go, tension soared. Both fled the dining room, John clutching his gun, alert. Jenny wasn't looking for a showdown, she wanted a chance to reason, but accidentally misfired. The bullet missed Jenny, but shattered his heart. The couple, in love for 6 years, parted bitterly. Heartbroken, John turned to a friend. "Don't forget to like and subscribe."